Shalom, Yashrala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and our will. And salutation and much love for you, I can pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here lesson real quick that, it started out being inspired by one of the brothers sending a text message about something, dealing with these damn Edomites, you know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, as we can see, these curses are falling upon Esau, all right? So let's go ahead and start out here in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. It says, and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. In fact, let me go somewhere else first. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 16, okay? This is Jeremiah 30 and verse 16. There's a point here. It says, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. All right, now who devoured us up the most, man? Esau. All these nations, really, but ultimately it was Esau, all right? It says, therefore all they that devoured thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. And, that that's the ultimate end game for all these heathen nations, man. They're going to be in captivity under the children of Israel. It says, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. And you're starting to see that, being, manifested before your eyes. Let me read verse 17. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh, because they call thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion whom no man seeketh after. And, after seeing us being down at the bottom for so long, now the Most High is actually raising us up, man. Through this COVID-19 situation, a lot of these people were out of work or whatever, whatnot. They lost their jobs or whatever, whatnot, rushed to the unemployment lines. All right, where you had a lot of Jake that was still working because they were in these so-called low-level jobs, the so-called essential jobs, like construction and, things like that, But we're going to go back over to Deuteronomy chapter 28 real quick, or 30, and verse 7. It says, and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies, all right, which we was just reading how the tables was going to turn, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee, all right? And the number one person that, main person that was in charge of that was Esau, Edom, all right? So we're going to go over to Deuteronomy 28, and we're going to look at some of these here curses real fast. Like I said, this here was inspired by one of the brothers sending this text message, and it was basically it was this this Edomite chick, she had all these damn plastic surgeries or whatever, whatnot. Her lips was all super swollen or whatever, whatnot. She just looked like a goddamn fool. But nevertheless, in that same thing, you have to understand, what's really going on behind that psychologically, all right? So when you go into, dealing with this here image, the image of so-called Jesus, this white image, all right? And everybody in a power and position of authority as you've been growing up has always pretty much been these Edomites, all right, for the most part. So Jake is always looking up to them as they're the so-called people in authority or the gods of the earth, They see all the images, they whitewashed all these images, Let me grab that real quick. This is Jeremiah chapter, let me see. Wait. Let me slow down. This is the book of Job, okay? Job 9 and 24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? All right. So, dealing with that white image. All right. And then, the pictures of the Most High and the angels and so on and so forth. They were all so-called white people, So with this psychologically, your teachers, the doctors, the judges, the police officers, everybody that you would look at for so-called help or an authority, there was always these Edomites. So our people always, put two and two together that, oh, this must be God, these must be the children of God or whatever, whatnot, But, now over time, as these curses are rolling up off of us, you're starting to see that Jake is like the scriptures say, one shall be stronger than the other. All right. Now you're starting to see that Jake is actually way more superior than Esau. Even in our bugged out, low down condition, we still up on top of Esau, man. All right. Physically, mentally, and spiritually, man. All right. However, we are destroyed at this point in time for the most part of our people. But nevertheless, entertainment, sports, and all these different things, Jake dominate that, man. Even on the job sites, the people at the bottom of the barrel is normally Jake, and they're the ones really, turning and moving things, making money for the company, But nevertheless, right now, you're starting to see Jake being, getting that recognition, man. You're starting to see more and more people. Or like, for instance, a lot of these women, their women, which we'll get into, are starting to leave their men and choose us now. All right. A lot of these jobs are preferring us on their jobs more than them now. All right. Just a lot more people are, for one, we've been exposing who the damn devil is. More and more people are coming out now and calling out this damn devil. And even amongst their people, All right, you have especially these Edomite women, man. Like, these Edomite women are so tired of being with the damn Edomite man. To them, it's even a shame to be around a damn man, man. All right, just like how Jake women used to be, the so-called black woman used to be with her man, man. You know, so she used to be ashamed to be with her man because of the fact that he didn't have a job, he didn't have no resources. He's the lowest of the lowest in this here society, man. All right, so what? That's why you see a lot of our women going with the Edomite man, all right? Because women are naturally attracted to power and protection, all right? They need provisions and protection, all right? So they're naturally drawn to, you know, men that's in power. And since Jake was emasculated, all right, and beat down and destroyed, you know, they don't have no power, no say-so, no nothing. You know, the police can go just pull up on them and beat their ass, all right, and then, you know, just wrongfully beat their ass, and Jake can't do shit about it, man, all right? But nevertheless, you know, all these curses are now falling upon on Jake. Oh, like I was saying about the woman, you know, this woman had all these damn surgeries to look like Jake, you know? But when you, like I said, you go back to these images or whatever, whatnot, this is, you know, psychologically why our women dye their hair blonde or get blonde straight wigs and weaves and stuff like that, you know. They'll go and try to lighten up their skin. They'll try to so-called get thinner lips and get a thinner nose and so on and so forth, you know. You had one of these little Edomite chicks that's like somewhat famous. I don't know if it was the chick that was like Catch Me Outside or one of them other little chicks. You know, these are Edomite chicks. You know, they perceive to be Edomite chicks, but they act like Jake. You know what I'm saying? They act like they super ghetto. And one of them girls was tripping, talking about talking to you know, basically Judah. You know, how y'all, to the women, talking how y'all getting mad, talking about trying to act black when I got a blonde straight wig on. And what she was right about that, but, you know, her whole demeanor, like if you didn't see this girl's image or whatever, whatnot, and couldn't tell that she was an Edomite by her voice, you would swear up and down that this was a Jake, man. You know, because like the demeanor of how she was speaking or whatever, whatnot, just sounded like some ratchet ass Jake woman, man. All right, but nevertheless, this is what these, you know, in the last, what, 4 or 5 years, this is what you're starting to see now, man. All right, you're seeing a lot more of these women, these Edomite women filling out, you know what I'm saying? They're getting a little thicker, whatever, whatnot, you know, and they're actually so-called, how do I say, enjoying that. You know, this is like a sign of pride for them now, you know, because beforehand, the Edomite man didn't like no woman that was, you know, thicker than a goddamn 12-year-old little boy. All right, they be like, oh, no, she's fat. You know, women look like goddamn little 12-year-old boys, you know. But now, nevertheless, you're starting to see these Edomite women getting breast implants, butt implants, you know what I'm saying, and so on and so forth. And I forgot how they call it now. Oh, they call it a Brazilian butt job or some shit like that, right? But that's, now, the Brazilians, they Israelites as well, too. But nevertheless, now, if they would have been like, oh, we getting so-called African butt surgery or whatever, whatnot, you know, to get the implants, you know what I'm saying? It'd be too obvious of what the hell's going on. All right, but nevertheless, so they call it by one of the other tribesmen. But, you know, when you see, who you see normally with the biggest asses walking around, man? All right, the fullest people on earth, man. All right, the fullest people on earth is the head tribe out of the children of Israel, which is Judah, man. This is why our so-called black women be like so nicely built, thick in all the right places, got the right curves and whatever, whatnot, man. She ain't big, you know what I'm saying? She built right, you know? And then you look all the way down to Esau, the bases of men, you know, a lot of they women be walking around looking like 12-year-old little boys, man. All right? You know what I mean? Like body figure like wise, you know, flat all the way around, you know, ain't even hit puberty yet, you know? But nevertheless, you know, this is all starting to change up now, man. You're starting to see a lot more of their women trying to act like our women, and a lot more of their men trying to act like our men. All right, so let me continue on real quick. We're going to go through a couple of these here curses, you know, because like I said, this was inspired by that. But not only that, you know, also, hey, the same brother was talking about how these two Edomites, all right, these two Edomites that was at his job, basically was getting into an argument, you know, over some petty shit, man. You know, and it happened to be a father and a son-in-law. You know, they was beefing over fucking, I guess, having to work during Cinco de Mayo, or not really that. They couldn't go and celebrate Cinco de Mayo because of this whole shit that's going on right now, man. All right, they arguing over some petty shit. You know, that's some shit Jake will holler over, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, two grown-ass brothers or whatever, whatnot, you know, arguing over, remember when we was 5, you took my toys, or you ate, you know, you poured the last little bit of milk in the cereal or whatever, whatnot, you know, just arguing over some dumb shit, you know? But this is what you're starting to see now happen over Jake, man, or over Esau, man. All right, seeing them argue over petty shit. So let's go to Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to just read, you know, through some of these here curses, you know. But ultimately, all these curses are going to fall upon him. All right, this is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 16 and 17. It says, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and store. All right, and what do you see going on right now here in America, man? All right, let me go to that real quick. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, and I'm going to just get to the point. This is verse 3 and 4. It says, in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves. All right, the head of the household is the Edomites. The earth was given into their hands, so they're the head of the household. But now you see in them these elites getting their emergency passports. They're fleeing into these bunkers, pulling all their money out of the stock market, committing suicide. They trembling because they realize this is the end all be all. It says, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the window are darkened, and the doors be shut in the street when the sound of grinding is low. And this is what you're starting to see. They're being cursed in the city, and cursed being in the basket in the store. Their businesses are failing, man. They all going bankrupt. This is why they're having to keep injecting all this here money with these stimulus packages into the economy, because they broke, man. The Most High is nothing that they can do. No matter how much money they print, they still going broke, man. All right. It says, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. So let's go back to the book of Deuteronomy 28, or Deuteronomy chapter 28. And we're going to go down to verse, I'm going to read verse 20 through 24. It says, Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, rebuke, and all thy settest thy hand to do. All right. And that's what you're starting to see now, man. Esau's being caught up in all his traps and his snares. First we should leave the country open. Then, we waited too late. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should start sending our jobs overseas. But, now we need to get our jobs back. We got to have a trade war, tariff wars. And, we need to start, fracking and get the shale oil. But now the other nations is fucking us over. Now our oil companies is all going bankrupt and shit. You know what I'm saying? We should be oppressing Jake and oppressing and bombing all these other countries. But now all the countries is ganging up on us and shit now. You know what I'm saying? So this is what you're starting to see happen, man. Everything is turning on Esau, man. No matter what he try to do, it's coming back. It's backfiring on his ass right now, man. He can't move worth a shit, man. Every move he make, man. Every single move that he move his goddamn piece, he going into check. You basically a checkmate, man. You can only move back and forth, but every move that you make, I'm getting one step closer to calling that ass checkmate, man. You only got, a limited amount of time, man. All right. It says, Yahweh shall send upon thee curse and vexation and rebuke, and all thou settest thy hand to do, settest thy hand for to do, until thou beest destroyed, and until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doing where thou hast forsaken me. All right, and that's also what's going on right now, man. These Edomites, this is why a lot of them killing themselves, man. I thought if I would have invested into this, thought if I would have put my money here, I thought if I would have did this and did that, we would have been all right. But all of this shit is crashing on them, man. Everything is coming to bite them in the ass. Verse 21, it says, Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed thee off the land whither thou goest to possess it. He shall smite thee with the consumption, with fever and inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with the blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. All right, and also you seeing this happening right now. This is the beginning of it right now with this COVID-19, man. All right, if you notice, it started out and it exploded in China. All right, and they was like the world leader in this, but now it got taken over by, first and foremost, it got taken over by the Edomite nations. All right, I believe it was one of them European nations I don't know if it was Italy or it was another nation. It might have been two of them nations that took the #1 spot for a while. But then, lo and behold, Babylon the Great was not going to be outdone in nothing, man. All right, Babylon the Great came and took that #1 spot and still climbing, man. All right, they got maps of how, these things start spreading, and you can see the numbers as the days go by. It's a time lapse. You see China from day one, they just start skyrocketing, going all the way up to like 80,000. But once they get to about like maybe 75,000, they start slowing down. The pace starts slowing down. But by that time, America start picking up. And these numbers, these shits start rolling so fast. America go from, being at 0 or damn like 100 while China is at like 75,000 and the ticker keep ticking. But America take off, you know what I'm saying? And it wound up surpassing China at 80,000 before China can even reach 80,000. They only had like 5 more. And America had to catch up by 80,000. All right, so before China could reach that next 5,000, America had to gain over 80,000 and still gaining, man. All right, so this is what you see going on, man. These curses, these plagues, these pestilences is cleaving onto Esau more than anybody else, man. All right, despite what they're telling you in the numbers and whatnot, because we also got other evidence of how they basically killing Jake in these damn hospitals just to try to curve the statistics. And like, no, it's actually hurting Jake more than anybody, man. But Jake is actually getting killed in these hospitals, man. But, hey, they don't have faith. That's why they going to the damn hospitals. But, hey, you even have these damn Edomites blowing the whistles on this, man. I seen a video the other day of this damn nurse crying her eyes out because of one of her so-called, quote-unquote, black patients was going to die because they wasn't giving him the great treatment. She was also crying over a so-called Hispanic woman. And so all the people she was crying over was all Jake, because she said she was in the hood. But she's like, they just don't care about him. They're killing them and so on and so forth. They're just doing everything wrong. Yeah, they gotta kill them off. But Esau's actually naturally just dying the fuck off and not reproducing, man. The Most High got these curses cleaving onto their ass right now, and he's wiping them off the face of the earth, man. All right. Verse 23 says, and thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. Yahweh shall make the rain over thy land powder and dust, and from heaven it shall come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. And this is what you're starting to see happen a lot with a lot of this here food, man. Whether it be they overproduce, underproduce, there was a contamination going on in these plants, the grocery stores, the shipping hubs or whatever, whatnot, man. So they having to throw away a lot of this here food, man. They can't sell a lot of it, man. All right, so it's all basically not profiting these people, man. Let me read 27 through 31. It says, Yahweh will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and the itch whereof thou cannot be healed. Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. So going back up to these curses, these plagues, and these pestilences, it's going to get way worse on Esau, man. All right? But then now, this is why you see these Edomites bugging the fuck out over this COVID-19, and they so shaken, and, shook up, scared to go to the grocery store and whatever, whatnot. It says, Yahweh shall smite thee with madness, blindness, and astonishment of heart, man. If it ain't the sickness that they scared about, it's the economy that they mad about. And if it ain't that, it's the food shortages that they mad about, man. If it ain't that, it's the lack of the alcohol and the sports and entertainment that they have, man. Verse 29, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. And these are the beginning stages of all that, man. This is why you're seeing Esau walking around with their head down low. And a lot of them actually are having a change of so-called heart, but, ultimately they're going to still have that hatred to the end. But a lot of them now are being real remorseful and sorrowful or whatever, whatnot towards Jacob, want to so-called seek to please the poor, man, with their tears and things like that. But hey, man, that ain't gonna work, man. It's just way too late for that, man. All right. Verse 30, and thou shalt betroth the wife, and another man shall lie with her. And that's also what's going on now, man. A lot of these Edomite women are divorcing their husbands, taking them for all he got, and then going shacking up with Jake, man. And thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. All right, and that's also what's going on at the same time. They're getting kicked out of these big-ass houses or whatever, whatnot. And also America and all these other nations they done stole up. Thou shalt plant a vineyard and shall not gather the grapes thereof. Thine ox shall be slain before thy eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. And thy ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and thou shalt not be restored of thee. And thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have no rescue for them. And this is why you're starting to see them dish out these small business loans and these so-called payment protection plans, because they businesses and their ways of making money is being demolished. All right. Well, let me go to 32. This is going to ultimately happen. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people, and thy eyes shall look and fill with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt only be oppressed and crushed always. And you also seeing this happen, man. America, like with the oil industry, for one, they're having to pay people to take their oil up off of their hands because they can't sell none of their oil right now, man. So they're not even eating off of the fruit of their own labors, man. All right. Let me jump down. 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, a byword among all nations, whether Yahweh shall lead thee. And now it's actually becoming a shame to be called an Edomite or Esau or Amalek and things like that. They block our channels and shit like that for putting that in the comment or the title or whatever, whatnot, or all kind of things like this, man. They know who they are now. You see the videos of them getting into regular arguments with the brothers, not even really knowing that they're brothers, and they just scream out, yeah, we know that we're the Edomites and we don't give a damn. They know that they Esau, man. They know now. This is why it's also a shame for them to be called the so-called white man now, man. They don't want to be called by that. They call themselves everything else other than that now, man. They, you just take part in being called the Grecians and the Romans, but now that the secret's out the bag, they despise that heritage, man. All right. So now, being called a so-called white man is now a curse to them, man. All right. Just being called, I always say, hey, there's nothing derogatory you can call a so-called white man except for an Edomite. All right. Who they really are. That's the one thing they try to hide from. Because if you call them anything else, like if you call them a cracker, all right, the origins of the word cracker come from when these goddamn Edomites used to have a goddamn whip and they was cracking their whip on Jake back. So really remind them of when they had you Jakes in slavery, man. All right, so really there ain't no derogatory name that you can call these people, you know what I'm saying, that's really derogatory besides who they really are, going back to their biblical name, Esau, Edom, who the Most High has that hatred forever, man, the people of his curse, man, all right? He's that reprobate, man. Verse 38, thou shalt carry out much seed into the field and shall gather but little, for the locust shall consume it. You also see this happening, actual locusts, but then you also have plagues, weather and diseases that's taking out a lot of these crops. A lot of these crops can't be shipped and sold during the COVID-19 shutdown. A lot of these farmers are having to destroy a lot of their crops, all right? Thou shalt plant a vineyard and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coast, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thy olive shall cast its fruit. All right. And again, you start to see these same things, man. They're not reaping the benefits of any of their labors, no matter where they come from. Whatever type of seed they try to plant, like I said, whether it be fruits, vegetables, animals, investments, their oil, any of these things, all they sectors are all crumbling right now, man. Verse 43, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. And you're starting to see this transition happening right now, man. All right. Let me jump down to 54. All right. Because this is also what was going on between the father and the son-in-law. It says, so that the man that is tender among you, and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. All right, and so this is what you also seeing, man. Edomites on Edomites, man. They starting to clash with one another, man. Call each other out, man. All right, they're not banding together like they used to, man. They used to always bat an eye towards one another's folly, man. But now they starting to call each other out, man. They're calling the police on each other, one another, man. They're the ones ratting each other out now, man. All right. Let me go down to... Well, let me just keep reading. Verse 55. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left in the siege and the straitness wherein thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. And actually right now with a lot of these businesses shutting down, man, a lot of these Edomites is losing all that they have, so they're not going to have an inheritance passed down to their child, except for these damn curses and slavery, man. Verse 56, a tender and delicate woman among you, which would not have ventured to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, shall be evil towards her husband of her bosom, which we see in these Edomite women leaving their husbands now, and towards her sons and towards her daughters. And now this is why you see in the news that they tripping over abortions right now, because these are the people who came up with abortions. So you go back to Margaret Sanger. Really, Bill Gates' father is the one who started all this shit. But, Margaret Sanger is like the so-called poster child for Planned Parenthood. But the reason that this is such a problem now is because the Edomites' reproduction rate is at 0. They're not reproducing. All right. They're going with their careers and so on and so forth. So they damn sure not having babies. All right. But nevertheless, they physically can't reproduce right now. The Most High is drying up their wombs. All right. But nevertheless, they also are taking part in this here abortion, man. So for the Edomites to continue on, they need, they don't need their women to reproduce. They just need their men to be out here reproducing. But, when you look at it in the eyes of these Edomites and how they run their nation, this is why they're upset with the abortions. It's not because Jake women are killing their babies. That's what they put it there for, man. It's because these Edomite women are actually doing it, man. All right. We're going to finish off right here. This is Deuteronomy 28, 59 through 61. And Yahweh will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. And also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of the law, them will Yahweh bring upon thee until thou beest destroyed. And you're starting to see this happen right now, man. A lot of these Edomites is bugging the fuck out, and they just through, man. We see them all the time, and the only thing we can say when we see them is through, man. No, ankles all swole up, barely can walk. You know what I'm saying? Seeing them in these walkers, these wheelchairs, obese. You know what I'm saying? On oxygen tanks and things like that, man. All right, with this COVID, man, they just old and frail and dying off, man. These are these curses that are starting to cleave onto Esau, Edom, man. So we should be, looking at these things and these places coming upon the earth, and we should be rejoicing because it's ultimately taking out Esau, Edom, instead of our own people, man. 2/3 of our people getting hit with these things too, but ultimately the Most High is doing this to destroy our enemies in our sight, man. All right, so Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. A salutation and much love for you, I can pushing this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.